Now, I happen to know for a fact that just based on my demographics and based on the thumbnail I might choose for this, there's going to be one person out there, guaranteed, that's going to say, Elo, this is a really stupid thing you're doing right now. I've already seen all the new forms, and I need to see White Cure because it's on the box and it's been in my sub box. I don't need to see Captain L'Oreal with a stupid secret sword because he's worth it. I don't need to see all these Ubers. This is a stupid idea, and you're stupid for doing this. I'm unsubbing right now. To which I say to you, hey, it's stupid, but it hasn't been done on my channel yet, so you shut the fuck up right now and let me have some fun. God damn. Anyways, welcome to Monday's game. I got an Ubers match against a guy by the name of Bladezz. His name's gonna be in the title. Anyways, what a good way to kick off Wi-Fi single number 401. As you can see, I got Lugia and Ho-Oh. Those guys both have Dream World abilities, being multi-scale and regenerator. And then we got Ditto, which we're gonna talk about in a little bit in case you're not filled in on him and what the fuck he's doing in Ubers. But I see that it leads off with White Cure. Turbo Blaze, I know for a fact, negates multi-scale. I've been in this situation before, and I've learned very well from it. So what I'm going to do is switch out. I don't want to set up a light screen or anything like that, because instead of going for the Ice Burn, he easily could have gone for the Ice Beam and just done super much damage to me. But he decides to go for the Ice Burn on my Ho-Oh, and because I'm max HP and max attack, and I actually take that pretty damn good just based on my natural Spec D. I don't have any investment in it whatsoever. But Sacred Fire, that looks really cool right now. But just based on the amount he did, it's honestly looking like I can maybe take another one. I don't know if he's going to end up firing off a Draco Meteor or anything like that. Would probably do around the same amount of damage. And I guess he was thinking maybe he wouldn't be able to take it. So he figured the best thing to do would be to go out into his Ho-Oh. Also to not get burned as well. So that's kind of a good play there. I decided to go for a recover just thinking that I could take any one of his next hits. Just based on how much a stab Ice Burn did coming off a base 170 spec attack. Holy shit. But I mispredict right here because I thought he was going to go for the Sacred Fire or the Brave Bird. And I was thinking, okay, I can take that pretty well. Go ahead and set up screens. He goes for the Toxic. Now, a static condition like Poison or Burn is pretty bad because it just ruins multi-scale Pokemon. So the gimmick that this guy had is now gone. He doesn't even have pressure going for him. But I decided to set up some screens, and then we have some stupid sub-seeding bullshit going on right here. With the Serperior, because it does happen to be faster than like just about anything else. I decide I don't want Toxic and Leech Seed adding up on this guy. I can afford to have it add up a little bit on this guy because I do have, although I have Life Orb, I do have Recover and Regenerator, so I should be okay. Look at how fast he's flapping his wings. It's almost hypnotizing. Anyways, he's doing stuff, and then after a while, he's going to end up switching out, decide to go into his Groudon. Right on the turn, I decide to go for Sacred Fire, oddly enough. So that's going to get boosted. That's going to hurt this Groudon quite a bit. In my experience with Groudon and this Ho-Oh, a Life Orb Sacred Fire coming off an Adamant Ho-Oh is usually a 2-hit KO. It usually does around that amount of damage, so I think he's max HP and max defense just based on my previous encounters with Groudons. And I unfortunately don't get the burn, which doesn't make it a sure 2-hit KO, especially after Lefties and Leech Seed. But what I can do here is go for another Sacred Fire and hope for a burn, but I honestly don't know if I'm going to end up getting it on this one. It is 50%, and I get it right in the nick of time as he decides to go for, I believe, the Stealth Rocks. Now, kind of good, kind of bad. It does kind of ruin Ho-Oh in general, and I don't have any spinners, but the Regenerator does help it out because it gets the HP immediately upon switching out. So even if as long as I can get the time to recover right now, I should be able to live at least one switch in and at least have it as death fodder. But as you can see, after the Lefties and the Leech Seed, he's actually gaining HP, so I don't want to spend too much time in here just based on the amount of HP that I'm giving him, just based on my max HP. I have Recover just because at the time I had been using it in Black and White whenever I'd ask people because it was a Dream World ability. They would be like, yeah, don't use it with Roost because, you know, 4th gen TM with 5th gen Dream World ability, that shit's gonna be legal. It is legal now. I would assume in Black and White too. I would definitely assume that Ho-Oh gets Roost. So you could run Roost and Regenerator, but I've kind of grown attached to Recover and Regenerate, especially because of little situations like that where they predict you to Roost. And I ended up dodging an Earthquake for free, and I get to go out to my Lugia. Not really as death fodder. I was kind of just convinced just right now that based on the fact that he was burned, he can't touch me with Earthquake, Dragonclaw ain't doing shit. I can set up screens before I die, especially since they're going to be winding down right about now. As you can see, the Reflect dies down on the turn that I decide to switch in, so couldn't have had better timing with that. Gonna keep up the really low damage, and that's a text. I'll answer that later. For now, what do we got? We got Lefties that completely threw off my train of thought. I should definitely be able to catch on to it, though. We got Burn. That's why this battle was so long. We got so many after-turn effects going on mid-game. game. I guess I just didn't feel like speeding it up. He goes, this is the really cool part of the game. I don't think you guys understand, but I'm going to go for a recover right now, expecting to live, and then I'm going to go ahead and set up the light screen on the next turn. But Rayquaza. So Rayquaza, really fucking big threat. I got around... I don't even know what the attack and the spec attack on this thing are, but he decides to go for an overheat, which I find kind of weird. I mean, I know if he didn't have airlock, it would be sun boosted, but he has airlock, so it isn't sun boosted. I guess he just didn't want to be locked in on Outrage, and that kind of makes sense, but kind of doesn't. At least you reveal now that his item is Life Orb, but enter Ditto. Enter Ditto with this new fucking Dream World ability, Imposter, which lets him transform into the opposing Pokemon as soon as he comes in. And on top of that, you take Stealth Rock's damage before you come in. So if you were to, like, Imposter a Ho-Oh, you would take neutral damage instead of ×4, which is really handy. So on top of that, my Ditto is Choice Scarf, which I believe is actually going to be the most popular set. You know, max HP on a Choice Scarf. Doesn't matter nature, doesn't matter speed, because you copy everything except for IVs and HP, so you might as well just max that thing up. But as you can see, I'm hitting him literally with his own pimp, for anyone that gets that reference. But Outrage is going to be 2 at KO on that thing. As you can see, I get the 3-turn Outrage, and I wipe out 2 of his Pokemon clean just by sending in this stupid thing. It transformed into his Rayquaza, and because I'm Scarfed, and I know that he's Life Orb, I'm going to be at his speed plus 1 stage, which is really important. But White Kyurem's going to go ahead and come in. I believe I am confused, and I don't really want to risk hitting myself because this is such a cool Pokemon, and I want to keep abusing it as long as his Rayquaza is alive, because it's punching holes in his team. God damn. But I was at full HP, so I'm going to end up taking half from Stealth Rock, so I can't regenerate anymore. But he goes for Draco Meteor. As you can see, it kind of confirms the fact that I maybe could have sort of lived it based on damage variations on the other one. When I was at 180 HP, I ended up being at like 13 more, and I lived it with 3, so I don't know what range he pulled on that one, but it got really close. So he's at -4 now because of that, which is actually really handy. I'm going to get to go into my Keldeo right now, and I think this guy is still Life Orb. I don't like Life Orb Keldeo. I'm probably going to end up switching that to lefties as soon as I can. And I thought the HP on this guy, I'd been using this guy in previous battles. I don't know what his HP is, to be completely honest. It was, at first, it was dark when I first salved the Keldeo. And then I thought it was ice, which is why I tried going for it right now, because it ended up being neutral against a Cofagrigus when I used it. So I don't know what it is. I think it ended up being, what, like... It's neutral on this guy, so I think it's like HP fucking electric or something like that. I have no idea. But I thought it was ice. It wasn't ice, and I just end up almost dying to an Outrage, and I believe he can take me out on the next turn with an Outrage. I can try to go for the Hydro Pump right now. I didn't want to go for the Secret Sword because I didn't want to leave him with that much HP. I do want to send in Ditto immediately after, but I want to make sure that he's close enough to the point where I can kill him off fairly easily. So, not that I wouldn't be able to kill him off in an Outrage, just in case he actually ends up getting the 2-turn like he did now, and he ends up being able to switch out immediately after. If he got the 3-turn, he would be locked in on the Outrage, and I would just be fine and dandy. You know what? I'm completely rambling. Outrage would have killed him off at any range. Fuck you, Rayquaza, because I'm a Ditto. Anyways, moving on to the next talking point. He's going to bring in his Ho-Oh, and I believe this is actually a 3-hit KO on this Ho-Oh, which kind of surprises me. I mean, I don't have any boost, and I don't have a Life Orb, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But it's a stab Outrage coming off a Rayquaza, like, god damn. Well, actually, coming off of a Ditto that just turned into a Rayquaza. But going back to my original 2-word point, god damn. He's going to be able to get off a Toxic here, which isn't really going to be any big thing to Ditto, especially just, I don't know. We kind of did some experiments during that stream. If you transform into a poison-type Pokemon while you're poisoned, you still keep the poison, which actually leads for some very funny scenarios. I actually Toxic stalled out a Ditto transformed into Scizor the other night that way, so that was pretty funny. He's gonna go ahead and switch out to get his Regenerator going and decides to switch out into his Gengar, which just ends up fucking dying. So, you know, death count for Ditto, I believe, is like 3, and then Ho-Oh's not, you know, walking away from that situation alive. What do we got going on? We got White Kyurem, which I believe he told me after the match was Scarfed, so I end up winning the speed tie, and I don't hit myself in confusion. I figure I gotta risk it on this turn, and just so much Outrages based on the fact I transformed into one of his own Pokemon, and I'm just running train on everything. I definitely picked the right Pokemon, because if I transformed into White Kyurem, I would have had to... I didn't know it was Scarfed at the time, so I guess after I figured out this thing was Life Orb, you know, why the hell not? He is going to be able to take me out with an Extreme Speed right here, which is a little disappointing. I kind of wanted, you know, the Ditto to bring it home on everything, but even if he does take me out with an Extreme Speed, I still have what? I still have... I think my Ho-Oh died. I think my Lugia died. Ditto just died. I got Arceus left, which blatant... I think Rick just gave me this salve, so it's the name. It's his name. Anyways, Extreme Speed to finish off the game, and you'd honestly kind of be surprised at how much Ditto's going to be used. I mean, it started out as a PU poke, thanks to its ability, but I think just based on the fact that it makes it like the perfect... Oh, that's right. This thing's probably going to die to a Life Orb Extreme Speed as well. Does it? I think it does. Yeah, that works out great. Anyways, that's the end of the game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Moral of the story, don't fucking fuck with Ditto. I wish I had a rhyme with Ditto, like don't fuckle with Shuckle. Don't... I don't know, I don't have a rhyme dictionary up. But anyway, Ditto's really cool in this generation, and he's really scary at the same time. But if you enjoyed this match, make sure to leave a like, rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. I haven't done Ubers in a while. I really want to get into Ubers and some PU. I do have some other... I got games from like every tier backed up from the really long stream I did the other day. But after that, I'm definitely going to try to put some more Ubers on this channel, as well as some more PU, because I really do kind of enjoy both of those tiers. Oh my god, black screen, kind of ran out of video. Anyways, that's it. I've been working on LPs and stuff. For those of you that have been wondering when Penumbra is going to be coming back, I've actually recorded the first 3 episodes, so keep your eyes on your sub boxes for that. I'll be running 2 LPs at the same time. For those of you that don't like Penumbra, I actually have a more Pokemon-related LP, but it's not actually black and white, so there's that. For those of you that don't like Pokemon LPs, we got Penumbra for you, so a little bit for everybody. And then I got battle videos 5 days a week again, starting this week. So... happy times, and I'll see you guys on the next one.